McBride was an all-star for the 5th time in her career as Boston goes backdoor to Hull, working on Williams. Hull gets it to go, and a foul.
Career high for you tonight. How'd that first half feel, especially with 18 and just 20 minutes of play?
I mean, it obviously feels good, I think, for me, just playing with confidence. We're missing people, so everyone's got to do a little bit extra, be a little bit more aggressive offensively. So that was my mindset going in, and obviously it feels good to see the ball go through the net.
On a night when everything felt impossible, one player gave Indiana a reason to believe. Lexi Hull didn't just show up, she took over, putting on the best performance of her young career. But even as her shots fell and the crowd roared, reality came crashing down. Injuries piled up, mistakes snowballed, and what could have been a celebration turned into a painful reminder of just how thin this team really is.
Second All-Star appearance was right here in Indianapolis back in July. Oh, looking inside for Boston. She will launch and knock down a 3. Lexi Hull's hit a pair. End of that game, but foul line continues to flummox Smith here this year. Here's Hull backdoor, puts on the brakes and lay it in. It's a Lexi Hull show.
From the opening possession, you could feel the difference in Lexi Hull. This wasn't a role player standing in the corner waiting for her chance. This was someone ready to carry the weight. She attacked defenders, moved without the ball, and played with a confidence that had fans asking, "Where has this been all season?"
Lexi, did you come into tonight kind of expecting to play darn near the whole game just with the injury situation and the personnel available?
Damn, you played 37 minutes.
I mean, you played a lot too, Kels. When did you play? 35. I mean, yeah, we're down people, so gotta suck it up, play a little tired a few minutes, and take in those timeouts as best we can. But yeah, I mean, we're down people, so everyone's got to do a little more.
Yeah.
For you offensively, was the plan to kind of try and get some looks inside early to get yourself going and then start working from the outside, or was that just kind of how the game set itself up?
Just to read the defense, you know. I think I got some really good passes on the back cuts, and that's a testament to my teammates, you know, finding me, but keep moving, just reading whatever they're given.
By the final buzzer, Hull had poured in 23 points on 9 of 16 shooting, including 4 threes, while logging nearly 37 grueling minutes. Those weren't empty stats. They were the kind of plays that kept the fever alive while the game was still up for grabs. Every cut, every jumper, every moment screamed one thing: Lexi Hull belongs on this stage.
In Chloe Bibby's absence, you'll likely see a lot of Turner on the floor here today as Lexi Hull launches and hits. It's a 3-point parade. Going in. Here is Hull. Look how aggressive Lexi Hull has been here in the first half. That was her 8th shot. Lexi Hull with all the confidence in the world. Petty, wide open. Oh, yeah.
What made it even more remarkable was the context. She wasn't sharing the load with a full roster. She was carrying a team held together by tape, patches, and sheer will. With each injury, the weight on her shoulders grew heavier, and she never flinched.
16 in the first half for McBride. Hull catch and shoot, knocks down another. 18 for Hull. That is a new...
Because make no mistake, this team is broken. Caitlin Clark, out with a groin injury. Sophie Cunningham, sidelined with an MCL tear. Sydney Coulson, done for the year. Ari McDonald, shut down with a foot injury. And on this night, Chloe Bibby scratched pregame. Odyssey Sims limped off late and never came back. By the time the final whistle blew, it felt like the Fever didn't just lose another game. They lost what little stability they had left.
Lexi Hull tonight, career high for her, just especially effective there early on. What were you seeing from her performance?
She was aggressive. I mean, she was hunting shots. She was aggressive to the rim. You know, she knew we needed another scorer on the floor, and because of the attention that Kelsey and AB get, she was getting free and she was hunting shots, and that's what we're going to need from her.
And yet, in that first half, something special happened. Lexi Hull was locked in. Kelsey Mitchell was slicing through defenders. Aaliyah Boston found her rhythm in the paint. For the first time in weeks, the Fever looked alive, confident, aggressive, and connected. Fans in the arena were buzzing. You could feel hope creeping back in, just for a moment.
Just obviously Chloe Bibby, a late addition to the injury report. Just when did that injury happen, or do you know the severity at this point?
Felt something during pregame, and so holding her out as a precaution. We don't know anything, so hopefully we'll get some more information tomorrow when she can be seen.
Had she been dealing with any soreness or anything like that in previous days, the week leading up to tonight?
Yeah, I think everybody's dealing with soreness at this point in the year. But yeah, I had been dealing with a little bit of knee soreness, and Again, just, want to make sure that we're cautious and figure out what's going on before she gets out there.
Kelsey Mitchell was every bit the leader her teammates believe she is. Before the game, players honored her with custom MVP Kelsey shirts, and Mitchell delivered with 27 points, 5 assists, and 5 three-pointers. When the offense stalled, she created. When younger players froze, she calmed them down. It wasn't just scoring. It was leadership in its purest form.
What do you know about Odyssey after, I think she left the game and didn't return? Is she injured? What's up with that?
Yeah, no, we don't know anything yet. She's going to get evaluated tomorrow, so we'll see.
With regards to Odyssey, do you have any ideas of what it was she tweaked? Was it a groin or any area?
I have no idea. I just heard her say I need a sub, and so I got Shay up there.
In the paint, Aaliyah Boston kept doing what she always does, battling for every inch. Her 15 points and 6 rebounds may not grab headlines, but without her, the Fever would have been buried early. Every possession she fought for position against bigger, fresher defenders. Every rebound kept Indiana's hopes alive a little longer.
Don't think you want to play Lexi 40 minutes. How can you handle the wing without Chloe tonight?
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to do it by committee. Bree Turner can guard 5 positions, so she'll be out there defensively. We've got to try to manipulate lineups a little bit more to figure out who we can stretch the floor with. So probably on the floor at the same time as Didi in a lot of things that we do. But again, if it's not going to be space in the floor in the half court, we've got to be able to get our defense to create some offensive transition opportunities. That doesn't always have to be steals for scores, but we've got to get missed shots that allow us to get out, run out, and try to create some things in transition.
Then came the unexpected spark, Shea Petty. Signed to a hardship contract just days ago, Petty barely knew the playbook. But when she got her shot, she made it count. 10 points, 3 threes, and a calm presence that made fans wonder how this team ever got by without her. She wasn't perfect, but she was fearless. And that fearlessness gave Indiana a lift when they needed it most.
Oh my goodness, I was taken back. It was fun. It was funny. I was very humbled. I was grateful for my group. I love the people I play with, and to know that they would go out their way to make something like that happen for me, it means a lot more than people know, because I have been here the longest I have. Everything that people talk about, I have been, and to know that my teammates kind of like see me as, I have value somewhere, and I feel like they make me feel like, I'm important to them and vice versa. And so that value means everything to me. And anybody knows me, I'm a loyal type person. And so I'm going to forever look at them like forever friends after something like that.
But then the second half started, and everything unraveled. Minnesota came out sharp, aggressive, and disciplined. Indiana came out flat, slow, and out of answers. The Lynx went on a 32-7 run that erased the Fever's first half lead in minutes. What felt like a night of possibility turned into another reminder of how quickly this team can come apart.
The lulls that you obviously mentioned just now, and how you guys want to make the lulls obviously not
shorter.
As bad. Just what can the team do on the floor? What can you guys as a coaching staff do in the moment to kind of break those up?
Yeah, I mean, some of it's timeouts. Some of it's substitution matchups, although we don't have a lot of those. And some of it's just attention to detail. I mean, championship teams, their attention to detail throughout the course of 40 minutes is there for the most part. And we're learning how to do that.
The defense told the story, and it was brutal. Rotations were late, closeouts were slow, and Minnesota smelled blood. Simple drives turned into uncontested layups, and every missed assignment felt like another crack in the foundation. The fans could feel it slipping away too. One possession after another, the Lynx punished Indiana for every mistake, turning what had been a competitive game into a runaway in just minutes. And the worst part? It wasn't effort. It was belief. You could see the doubt creeping in, and once that happens, it's almost impossible to stop the bleeding. When the third quarter collapse hit, one thing was clear. The Fever looked lost. And for many fans, the frustration is boiling over, because they've seen this before. Strong first halves, flashes of brilliance, and then a complete collapse when the game flips after halftime. Head coach Stephanie White didn't shy away from the criticism post-game. She admitted the team isn't executing, that integrating 2 new point guards on the fly has been brutal, and that chemistry is hard to build with a revolving door of players. But explanations don't erase the reality. Adjustments are coming too slow, and opponents are taking advantage of it. Every time this team has momentum, it feels like they're playing chess against coaches who are 2 steps ahead. And that's a painful truth for a group fighting to stay in the playoff picture. You could see it in their faces. By the fourth quarter, players weren't just tired. They were drained. Lexi Hull's legs looked heavy. Aaliyah Boston was fighting for position but couldn't get the ball cleanly. Kelsey Mitchell, who'd carried the load all night, was left to force shots just to keep Indiana within reach. And this isn't about effort. It's about reality. When your rotation is down to 6 reliable bodies, when you're asking players to log 35-plus minutes every night, fatigue isn't an excuse. It's inevitable. What the box score doesn't show is the emotional toll this season is taking. For players like Kelsey Mitchell, who's poured years into this franchise, every loss cuts deeper. For Aaliyah Boston, who was brought in as the cornerstone of a rebuild, it's frustration layered on top of exhaustion. And for Lexi Hull, this breakout night could have been a celebration, but instead, it felt like a cruel reminder of how thin this roster is. Fans see the highlights. They see the threes, the blocks, the hustle plays. What they don't see is the quiet heartbreak in the locker room after games like this, the moments where veterans console rookies, or the resolve it takes to come back and do it all again 2 nights later. But here's what you can't ignore. This team refuses to quit. Even when Minnesota ripped the game away, there was no folding. Players dove for loose balls. Boston battled for offensive boards she had no business grabbing. Mitchell kept barking orders, trying to spark some kind of run. That grit, that unwillingness to back down, is what fans love most about this group. And it's why, despite the losses, the Fever still have a pulse in the playoff race. And the fans? They know what they're watching. They're frustrated, yes. They're angry, sure. But they're also proud. Proud of Lexi Hull for stepping up when no one else could. Proud of Mitchell for proving, night after night, that she's the heart and soul of this franchise. Proud of a team that refuses to roll over no matter how bad the breaks get. Social media after the game was filled with one phrase, Lexi Show. It wasn't just a chant, it was a statement. Fans see the fight, and they're rallying behind it. But pride alone won't get you to the postseason. Right now, the Fever are clinging to the 6th seed by the slimmest of margins, just a half game ahead of 7th and barely clear of 9th. Every loss tightens that noose. Every misstep pushes them closer to the edge, and with a brutal schedule ahead, there's no room for error. They can't afford more collapses, more slow adjustments, more mental lapses. Every possession matters now, and that pressure is either going to break this group or forge them into something stronger. If there's any silver lining, it's that the pain is teaching them. Every breakdown is a lesson. Every blown lead is a chance to learn. And every moment of frustration is fuel for the future. This team is young. They're battle-tested in a way few rebuilding squads ever are. And when they finally get healthy, when Clark, Cunningham, and the rest of the roster return, they'll be better for having endured nights like this. But the biggest takeaway from this game? Lexi Hull isn't just a role player anymore. This was her statement game. A moment that proved she can be more than a spot-up shooter or defensive specialist. She can be a scorer, a creator, and, maybe most importantly, a leader. For a franchise searching for building blocks, Hull's growth this season is one of the few things giving fans hope. And if she keeps playing like this, she won't just be part of the future, she'll be central to it. There's no time to dwell. The Fever face Minnesota again on Sunday, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Lose, and the playoff dream slips further away. Win, and maybe, just maybe, they keep the fight alive for another week. It's not just about wins and losses anymore. It's about pride, progress, and proving that even in chaos, this team is building something worth believing in. And that's the thing about hope. It doesn't need perfect circumstances to grow. Even in the middle of the injuries, the collapses, and the heartbreak, there are moments. Moments where Hull drains a clutch 3. Moments where Boston fights through a double team for an impossible bucket. Moments where Mitchell rallies the group with nothing but sheer willpower. Those moments matter. And for the Fever, and for the fans who've stayed loyal through the storm, those moments are the reason to keep showing up, to keep believing that better days are coming. So now, it's your turn. Was this collapse about coaching? Or was it just the reality of a roster pushed beyond its limits? Can Lexi Hull build on this breakout and become the piece Indiana's been missing? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit like, and subscribe so you don't miss what's next. Because this story is far from over. And if you believe in Lexi Hull and what this team is building, type Lexi Show below. Because after a night like this, she's earned it.